Hey everybody, Dr. Strife here, bringing you a new video. Today, we're going to talk about Street Fighter 6 and everything that we know so far about the game. So, we got some of this information from Maximilian Dude's videos where he got a chance to play the demo, as well as official trailers, news sources, and other stuff that I was able to just sift through and give you just kind of the straight facts of what we know so far. I'm not going into the leak stuff, so this is going to be mostly a spoiler-free video when it comes to that type of information. So if you were one of the 2 people fortunate enough to avoid that, congratulations. I avoided in-game spoilers, but I could not avoid these. Don't know how, but that's how life works sometimes. Subscribe if you like the content, and make sure to watch the videos. If you enjoy it, we'll be covering more Street Fighter 6 as it goes along. So this footage is going to be part trailers, part Maximilian's footage from the show, which actually shows a lot of the gauges and meters and stuff. And these are where I got the information, so I'll put a link to his video down below. And also, this video, I'm going to be kind of just going down a list of things that I remember to write down as I was taking notes, so we're just going to base off that. This game feels weighted, a really weighted feel to the hits and impacts. But from the impressions, it didn't seem as slow as like a Mortal Kombat 11, but it did seem more in line with other Street Fighters. But don't expect something quick and fast-paced like that, like fast dashes and stuff like you'd see in Guilty Gear. There's definitely some of that Street Fighter 3 DNA because they have a parry system, though it plays a little different here. You do have the instant parries where you can instantly block an attack within a split second if you get the timing just right, but don't expect to do these all the time. It's not going to be that easy. Though it does seem like you can actually hold down the parry button for an extended period of time, and then you can use that to counter certain situations. Now, the longer you hold it down, the more it'll consume this drive gauge, which we'll get into in a moment, but also can leave you open to attack. So if you held it for like 3 seconds, for example, instead of like 1 second, you'll have less time to react to your opponent's attack during your parry. Basically, you'll have a longer recovery time, which means you're gonna have to wait a little longer before you can get back in there. Knowing when to parry, and of course it's gonna have a feel of Street Fighter 4 or 5. It's kind of like a hodgepodge from what I remember Maximilian talking about, how it's not feeling exactly like 3, but it does have a lot of inspiration from 3. And as I mentioned before, the drive gauge is a new feature here. So this bar right here, this green bar at the top next to your health, will be your biggest factor when it comes to managing defensive and offensive options. You will lose the drive attack if you block a lot of attacks, but also you can spend it almost all on offense, but you can burn out, leaving yourself open to chip damage and even stun. And then you have a recovery window where that bar is going to fill back up and completely refill your drive gauge, but you'll still be susceptible to chip damage, so you have to be very careful. And you can tell there's definitely a risk and reward with it. I'd like to see more on this in the future here. Also, you have the super meter returning, but there's different levels of supers. So the supers have a level 1, 2, 3, and a critical art, which is a more powerful one that happens when you're at low health. So it's more flashy, more cinematic, and they all look cool, but the critical art one looks super awesome and does a ton of damage. We also know from the first trailer and the demo that the press played will have Luke, Ryu, and Chun-Li. They'll be in the game. But we also know a new character, Jamie, will be there, who apparently has ties to Yin and Yang, and also has a drunken master style, where the more he drinks, basically the more he can do. He's looking great, as well as the other cast. Also, I forgot to mention, Summer's Game Fest, they announced Guile, and they showed off a trailer with him wearing a blue suit and a beard. That's right, Guile now has a beard, and he's more American than ever. And if you see this trailer, I'm going to try to put it in here. If you look at his critical art, it looks like that he may have went overkill on poor Luke here. But hey, I'm all for it. And there also seems to be, from the reports and even the first trailer, not the teaser that we got a while back, but this recent trailer, that there will be an adventure type mode. Will you be able to create your own character? quite possibly, but it does show that you're going to be getting into fights with people. Does this mean you get to create your own character for this story mode? And kind of just, I don't know, maybe pair whatever moves you want to pair from other characters and make it your own? I don't know, that's kind of headcanon there, but that would be really cool. Or maybe you just copy the fighter's style that you prefer and then just level up that way and get stronger. Who knows? Who knows? They haven't said much about it. On top of this, what's really weird is we see from some of the press footage, there is a team battle, but we don't know what that really is. Does this mean we're going to get something like Street Fighter Alpha's team mode where you team up against a CPU, or you against two CPUs, or even an actual tag mode like you would get in a Marvel Capcom? That would be so sick, and I would love and appreciate that. But who knows? They haven't said what that is yet, but I'd be curious to see where they take this and what's going on with it. And let's talk about the presentation. It looks top notch. Definitely has a Street Fighter 3 feeling to it, but more modern. Definitely a lot of hip-hop, urban feel. When it comes to the cinematics, when it comes to stage designs, even when characters are doing like their parry moves, you can see there's like splashes of color, like kind of like a graffiti art. It looks just so good. And you can tell like a lot of love and detail. They even let you make faces with characters, kind of like how you did in Soul Calibur 2 right before a fight. I would usually have Link go, yeah! Hurrah!
Versus Talim.
I don't know if you guys remember that. If you remember that from Soul Calibur 2, let me know. And more good news. This game is going to come out on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. On top of that, they have confirmed officially that it will have rollback netcode, and they are working to make crossplay available for all versions, meaning you got friends on PlayStation, Xbox can play with them. You got friends on PC, Xbox can play with them, and vice versa, and all the things in between. And so we are still not given a hard date. We just know 2023. We don't know if that's spring, summer, fall, winter. We just know that it's 2023. I'm very excited for this. I think it looks good. I think it's going to be worth the wait. But this is what I think we know so far about Street Fighter 6. If there's something I completely left out, let me know. I tried to be as thorough as I can with this. And yeah, for more information on Street Fighter 6, as well as other fighting game content, Final Fantasy content, let me know. And till next time, everybody, take care and game on.